Why is the sound not working? Oh, it is. Okay. What the fuck just happened? Oh, okay. I have not played this game yet, really, at all. Oh shit, yeah, I'm still level 1. So anybody that's watching this, don't make fun of me. I'm just kidding, you can make fun of me all you want. Oh man.
You and me, friend.
Trust nature, then trust yourself.
We've got a job to do, so shift your carcass. I saw this coming.
This probably is not gonna go good for me. Oh, fuck. Yep.
How was dinner?
It was pretty good. I ate like half of it so far.
Good job, man.
Oh. Love you. Thank you. Thank you for scanning. What the fuck? How did he get me down?
Enemy down. Reloading.
I am taking fire.
Recharging my shield.
Hey, see, there's another guy over here where I am.
I'm spotted. Taking fire. Reloading. Just giving my shields a recharge. Down.
Oh, fuck. Get him! Oh no, we just got
Never
smoked.
forget the eyes of Bluthunder.
Just got hella smoked. Fuck.
Begin round preparations.
So fuck that gun that I had.
Round 2. You have your targets.
I have materials for us.
Let's go.
Could turn the tide for them.
Incoming care package. I love loot. Been down.
What?
I'm getting shot at.
Don't blame yourself.
I just got
You were
fucked.
lost either way.
Making contact with enemy. Down, need help.
Numbers mean nothing against a true fighter.
Oh, why the fuck do I have the shittiest weapon?
Round 3. Remain vigilant.
Here I go.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, buddy.
Hi. Oh my goodness, yes I am. Thank you, I totally forgot.
Yeah, I didn't see anything in the service chat, and I saw you weren't in there, so I just thought I would call and make sure you're okay.
Thank you, I really appreciate that. I will be there.
Yeah, I'll see
Yeah,
you in the meeting.
that means the world. Bye.
Yep.
Got too much snow.
Oh wow.
Yep.
Wow.
So
Where are you at?
I'm in Pullman, Washington.
Damn. We're about to
Yeah.
get snow tonight. I'm in New Jersey. We're about to get snow tonight, but
Oh, no, the same thing here. I live in Maryland, and we're supposed to get snow tonight too, and until tomorrow morning.
yeah.
Yeah.
There was a
All right,
whiteout
Grant, I'm gonna
yesterday.
go host you.
Grant's here.
There was a whiteout yesterday, and
getting
today
on
it was another pile. So
It's
I couldn't
75 where I'm at.
oh, hush up, Bruce.
Wow.
Right?
What a dick.
I know, I'm sorry.
Let's see what what's the temperature here, Sissy?
What's the temperature here?
Mm-hmm.
Where you at, dude?
He's in SoCal.
What up, Paul?
Is that? Hey, Kat, is that Melanie back there?
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing?
Hi, Melanie. Melanie.
You're in SoCal? What part of SoCal are you in?
Yeah. Hi, Ray.
Hi, baby.
What'd you say?
That's like,
I can't hear you,
Sucks.
dude.
Hi.
Hi.
I was just asking because I grew up in Long Beach.
oh, killer. Yeah, I'm close to Long Beach. I'm like 45 minutes from San Diego and like 45 minutes from LA, so I'm like smack dab in the middle.
Where, yeah, my oldest brother still lives in San Diego. I haven't seen him in a long time.
Yeah, I love it down here, man.
I remember doing.
Where are you at now?
I'm in northern New Jersey.
Oh, nice. That's a cold move.
Yeah, man. Culture shock like a motherfucker, you know?
Right. I moved from Portland down here 5 years ago, so I feel the culture shock for sure.
Yeah, I feel you.
Love Portland.
Meeting time. Yay.
Alright. Hello, you guys, and welcome to Crazy NA. My name's Grant, and I'm an addict and your host for the evening. I'd like to open this meeting with a moment of silence for all the addicts still suffering, followed by the Wii version of the Serenity Prayer. For those who wish, you could just get unmuted. God, grant us serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change things we can, and the wisdom to know the difference just for today. Thank you so much, you guys. The newcomer is the most important person at any meeting. If you are in your any NA meeting, if you are in your first 30 days of recovery, or are visiting this meeting for your first time, please raise your hand so that we can get to know you. And sorry about that, guys. There's bombers. Yeah, get that guy out. Thank you.
This is
all
the
right.
nigger meeting? Because I was looking for...
Go crazy,
Go
Could you please stop? Could you
Get
please,
iPad and
could you
Devin
please-
Booker.
Could you please stop?
Alright. Thank you, co-hosts, and hopefully that's over.
And I just muted it. I just allowed it for contestants not to be able to mute their stuff too.
Yeah, that's...
So
Alright.
you just have to unmute them.
Thank you, yeah.
Grant.
Sounds good. I appreciate you, Tara. Alright. The newcomer is the most important person at any NA meeting. If you're in your first 30 days of recovery or are visiting this meeting for the first time, please raise your virtual hand so that we can get to know you. If you'd like to share with us who you are, just get your hand raised. I do not see any. Oh, wait, I do. John, what's up?
Hey, I'm John. I'm from Jersey. I have about 10 months clean. I'm a friend of Dave's from Jersey. We've known each other for years, but he recommended this meeting to me. So,
Hell yeah. Thank you. We're so glad you're here, dude. And if you like it, please keep coming, because this is an amazing meeting. There's some really good people here.
Cool, thanks.
Yeah. And I'd love to hear you share. But with that, we ask that if you're not sharing, please mute your microphone to let the meeting run smoothly. If you'd like to share phone numbers, we suggest doing so privately in the chat to protect your personal information. This is an open meeting of NA, so all are welcome. However, we ask that only those who identify as addicts share during the meeting. We also ask that if you have used today, that you do not share your experience, but instead listen to ours and join us in fellowship after the meeting. It's really fun. And we're on here all hours of the night. But with that, we would like to start the meeting off with some readings. There are 8 readings, so we will need 8 people to please raise their virtual hands, and those will be brought up shortly. Thank you for pulling that up, Jen. You rock. Coda, I'm going to ask you to unmute for who is an addict.
Hi family, Coda. I'm an addict. Who is an addict? Most of us do not have to think twice about this question. We know. Our whole life and thinking was centered in drugs in one form or another. The getting and using and finding ways and means to get more. We live to use and use to live. Very simply, an addict is a man or woman whose life is controlled by drugs. We are people in the grip of a continuing and progressive illness whose ends are always the same. Jails, institutions, and death. Thank you for letting me read.
Most definitely. Thank you for reading. David, what is the Narcotics Anonymous program?
Dave, addict. What is the Narcotics Anonymous program? NA is a non-profit fellowship or society of men and women whose drugs become a major problem. We're recovering addicts who meet regularly to help each other stay clean. This is a program of complete abstinence from all drugs. There's only one requirement for membership: desire to stop using. We suggest you keep an open mind and you give yourself a break. Our program is a set of principles written so simply we can follow them in our daily lives. The most important thing about them is they work. There are no strings attached to our name. We're not affiliated with any organization. We have no initiation fees or dues, no pledges to sign, no promise to make to anyone. We're not connected with any political, religious, or law enforcement groups. We're under no surveillance at any time. Anyone may join us regardless of age, race, sexual identity, creed, religion, or lack of religion. We're not interested in what or how much you use or who your connections were, what you have done in the past, how much or how little you have, but only what you want to do about your problem and how we can help. The newcomer is the most important person at any meeting because we can only keep what we have by giving it away. We learned from a group experience that those who keep coming to our meetings regularly stay clean. Thank you.
Thank you, David. I appreciate you. Cruz, why are we here?
Hey guys, Cruz, I'm an addict. Why are we here? Before coming to the fellowship of NA, we could not manage our own lives. We could not live and enjoy life as other people do. We had to have something different, and we thought we had found it in drugs. We placed their use ahead of the welfare of our families, our wives, husbands, and our children. We had to have drugs at all costs. We did many people great harm, but most of all, we harmed ourselves. Through our inability to accept personal responsibilities, we were actually creating our own problems. We seemed to be incapable of facing life on its own terms. Most of us realized that in our addiction, we were slowly committing suicide, but addiction is such a cunning enemy of life that we had lost the power to do anything about it. Many of us ended up in jail or sought help through medicine, religion, and psychiatry. None of these methods was sufficient for us. Our disease always resurfaced or continued to progress until, in desperation, we sought help from each other in Narcotics Anonymous. After coming to NA, we realized we were sick people. We suffered from a disease from which there is no known cure. It can, however, be arrested at some point, and recovery is then possible. Thanks for letting me read, guys.
Thank you for being here and reading. I appreciate you. Kayla, I'm going to ask you to unmute for how does it work?
Hey, my name's Kayla. I'm an addict. How it works. If you want what we have to offer and are willing to make the effort to get it, then you are ready to take certain steps. These are the principles that make our recovery possible. 1. We admitted that we were powerless over our addiction, that our lives had become unmanageable. 2. We came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. 3. We made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood Him. 4. We made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. 5. We admitted to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. 6. We were entirely ready to have God remove all of these defects of character. 7. We humbly asked Him to remove our shortcomings. 8. We made a list of all persons we had harmed and became willing to make amends to them all. 9. We made direct amends to such people wherever possible, except when to do so would injure them or others. 10. We continued to take personal inventory, and when we were wrong, promptly admitted it. 11. We sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understood Him, praying only for knowledge of His will for us and the power to carry that out. 12. Having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, we tried to carry this message to addicts and to practice these principles in all our affairs. This sounds like a big order, and we can't do it all at once. We didn't become addicted in one day, so remember, easy does it. There is one thing more than anything else that will defeat us in our recovery. This is an attitude of indifference or intolerance towards spiritual principles. Three of these that are indispensable are honesty, open-mindedness, and willingness. With these, we are all well on our way. We feel that our approach to the disease of addiction is completely realistic, for the therapeutic value of one addict helping another is without parallel. We feel that our way is practical for one addict can best understand and help another addict. We believe that the sooner we face our problems within our society in everyday living, just that much faster do we become acceptable, responsible, and productive members of that society. The only way to keep from returning to active addiction is to not take that first drug. If you are like us, you know that one is too many and 1,000 never enough. We put great emphasis on this, and for we know that when we use drugs in any form or substitute one for another, we release our addiction all over again. Thinking of alcohol as different from other drugs has caused a great many addicts to relapse. Before we came to NA, many of us viewed alcohol separately, but we cannot afford to be so confused about this. Alcohol is a drug. We are people with the disease of addiction who must abstain from all drugs in order to recover. Thanks for letting me read.
Thank you for reading. I appreciate you. Up next for We Do Recover, we have Derek. Or wait, was it Kayla? Kayla, you just read, right? Okay, cool. All right, Derek, I'm going to ask you to unmute.
Hi, I'm Derek. I'm a grateful recovering addict. The good news, we do recover. When at the end of the road, we find that we can no longer function as a human being, either with or without drugs, we all face the same dilemma. What is there left to do? There seems to be this alternative, either go on as best we can to the bitter ends, jails, institutions, or death, or find a new way to live. In years gone by, very few addicts had ever had this last choice. Those who are addicted today are more fortunate. For the first time in man's entire history, a simple way has been proving itself in the lives of many addicts. It is available to us all. This is a simple, spiritual, not religious program known as Narcotics Anonymous. Thanks for letting me read.
Thank you for reading. Up next we have Derek. Or, you just read. Nikki. Sorry, I'm just getting tripped out on the hands.
Hi, I'm Nikki and I'm an addict. The 12 traditions of NA. We keep what we have, only with vigilance. And just as freedom for the individual comes from the 12 steps, so freedom for the group springs from our traditions. As long as the ties that bind us together are stronger than those that will tear us apart, all will be well. 1. Our common welfare should come first. Personal recovery depends on NA unity. 2. For our group purpose, there is but one ultimate authority, a loving God, as He may express Himself in our group conscience. Our leaders are but trusted servants, they do not govern. 3. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop using. 4. Each group should remain autonomous except in matters affecting other groups or NA as a whole. 5. Each group has but one primary purpose: to carry the message to the addict who still suffers. 6. An NA group ought never endorse, finance, or lend the NA name to any related facility or outside enterprise, lest problems of money, property, or prestige divert us from our primary purpose. 7. Every NA group ought to be fully self-supporting, declining outside contributions. 8. Narcotics Anonymous should remain forever non-professional, but our service centers may employ special workers. 9. NA as such ought never be organized, but we may create service boards or committees directly responsible to those they serve. 10. Narcotics Anonymous has no opinion on outside issues, hence the NA name ought never be drawn into public controversy. 11. Our public relations policy is based on attraction rather than promotion. We need always maintain personal anonymity at the level of press, radio, and films. 12. Anonymity is the spiritual foundation of all our traditions, ever reminding us to place principles before personalities. Understanding these traditions comes slowly over a period of time. We pick up information as we talk to members and visit various groups. It usually isn't until we get involved with service that someone points out that personal recovery depends on NA unity, and that unity depends on how well we follow our traditions. The 12 traditions of NA are not negotiable. They are the guidelines that keep our fellowship alive and free. By following these guidelines in our dealings with others and society at large, we avoid many problems. That is not to say that our traditions eliminate all problems. We still have to face difficulties as they arise. Communication problems, differences of opinion, internal controversies, and troubles with individuals and groups outside the fellowship. However, when we apply these principles, we avoid some of the pitfalls. Many of our problems are like those our predecessors had to face. Their hard-won experience gave birth to the traditions, and our own experience has shown that these principles are just as valid today as they were when our traditions were formulated. Our traditions protect us from the internal and external forces that could destroy us. They are truly the ties that bind us together. It is only through understanding and application that they work.
Thank you so much for being here and reading, Nikki. I appreciate you. And I'm just going to start it with the letters VBG. You're up next for the Just for Today reading, if you would like to do that for us. I'm asking you to unmute. Okay. Yeah, I don't know about these 3 or 4 hands. Deshaun, I'm going to ask you to unmute to read Just for Today.
Hi, my name is Deshaun. I'm addict. Just for today, tell yourself. Just for today, my thoughts will be on my recovery, living and enjoying life without the use of drugs. Just for today, I will have faith in someone in NA who believes me and wants to help me in my recovery. Just for today, I will have a program. I will try to follow it to be the best of my ability. Just for today. Through NA, I will try to get a better perspective on my life. Just for today, I will be unafraid. My thoughts will be on my new associations, the people who are not using, and who have found a new way of life. So long as I follow that way, I have nothing to fear.
Nothing. Thank you. And I appreciate you, man. I'm glad you're here.
Thank you for letting me read.
Yeah, of course. And we'd love to hear from you if you want to share when that comes up. But all right. Up next, Rob, I'm going to have you read the Just for Today Daily Meditation.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. It's good to be here. It's been a long time since I've been on this group. Anyway, so I'm Rob. I'm an addict. And January the 6th, how does it work? I used to think that I had all the answers, but today I'm glad that I don't. What are the 2 favorite words of most addicts? I know. Unfortunately, many of us arrive at NA thinking we have all the answers. We have a lot of knowledge about what's wrong with us. But in and of itself, knowledge never helps us stay clean for any length of time. Members who have achieved long-term recovery will be the first to admit that the longer they are here, the more they have to learn. But they do know one thing. By following the simple 12-step program, they have been able to stay clean. They no longer ask why, they ask how. The value of endless speculation pales in comparison to the experience of addicts who found a way to stay clean and live clean. This doesn't mean we don't ask why when it's appropriate. We don't come to NA and stop thinking. But in the beginning, it's often a very good idea to reword our questions. Instead of asking why, we ask how. How do I work this step? How often should I attend meetings? How do I stay clean? Just for today, I don't have all the answers, but I know where to find the ones that matter. Today, I will ask another addict, how does it work? Thank you for letting me share.
Thank you for being here. I really appreciate you. Okay. Sorry, just trying to get a copy and paste. Okay, in NA, we are addicts who are clean and recovering from the disease of addiction. Any presence of drugs or drug paraphernalia on video will result in your video being turned off for the remainder of the meeting. We also ask that you refrain from mentioning any specific substance by name during the meeting. Thank you for helping us maintain an atmosphere of recovery. We do not give advice, respond to other people, or address others during the sharing portion of the meeting. Everyone at Narcotics Anonymous meetings are free to share without fear of incrimination or intimidation. To facilitate this, we share our own experience, strength, and hope. This meeting does not use a timer. However, we ask that everyone remember that part of sharing is sharing the time. Crazy NA has a zero tolerance policy for abuse and harassment. We ask that you refrain from discriminatory, violent, or overly triggering graphic language. If you are subjected to any harassment, sexual or otherwise, please reach out to me or the host or any co-host. Just let us know, and we'll get that dealt with promptly. The seventh tradition states that every NA group ought to be fully self-supporting, declining outside contributions. Any extra funds donated go to pay rent for this meeting and provide key tags to our home group members. Leftover funds are donated to NA World Services. Since we cannot pass a basket, if you wish to donate, we ask that you contribute through our seventh tradition, Cash App, PayPal, or Venmo, and those links are posted right there in the chat for you. And at this time, we would like to recognize various links of clean time, because I didn't ask anybody to do that, but we do clean time and in between time here. And the first key tag is the white key tag. This is the color of surrender, 0 to 29 days. Give up the fight and pick up the white. This is the best white shit in town. Cruz.
Hey guys, good to see everybody. I'm Cruz, I'm an addict, and I am happy to say I have 29 days clean today.
Yes! Hell yeah, Cruz. So glad you're here, dude. One more day and you got that 30. That gives me chills. That's awesome. Albert, I'm going to ask you to unmute. Albert? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you're here. Could somebody please turn on the chat? It doesn't look like we have any more bombers in there, but for clean time, if you'd like to post that in the chat, please do. And that'll be turned on shortly. Vicky, I'm going to ask you to unmute.
Yes, I have 4 days today.
Yes, you do, and you've been there with us for all of them. That's amazing. I'm so glad you're here, Vicky, and I really hope you're blessed and you're able to make it through this. I don't see any more hands for 0 to 29 days, and the chat is open. The next key tag is 30 days. This is an orange key tag. Orange, you glad you're not in an orange jumpsuit, and orange, you glad I do not have any more orange jokes. Deshaun, I'm going to ask you to unmute, man.
I have 6 more days left. I've been really proud being here. My life has been difficult.
Suck my booty hole!
Wow, he waited a while. Anyways, I'm glad you're here. Keep coming back. Kayla, I'm gonna ask you to unmute.
Hey, my name's Kayla. I'm an addict and I have 32 days today.
Yes, that's amazing. 32 is an amazing number. That's dope. All right. John, I'm gonna ask you to unmute.
My name is John. I'm an addict. Today I have 323 days.
Yes, that you do. That's awesome, dude. I'm glad you're here. Keep it going. Yep. All right. With that, keep coming back. The next key tag is a green key tag, like the money in your pocket. This one's 60 to 89 days. Okay, I don't see anybody raising their hands, and that is super funny. That is probably the first time a bomber has tried to do a reading for us. But, alright, the next key tag. Janez, I'm going to ask you to unmute. Sorry.
Hi, I'm Janez. I'm a recovering addict and I have 80 days today.
Yay! Woo! Love those baby noises. That's awesome. Hell yeah. Alright, the next one is 90 days to 6 months. The red key tag, like the stop signs I used to blow through in my addiction. Luckily not no more. Derek, I'm gonna ask you to unmute.
I'm Derek. We have 183 days today.
Hell yeah, dude. Say that then. That's what's up. I'm so glad you're here, dude. Alicia, I'm gonna ask you to unmute.
Hi, my name's Alicia and I'm an addict. August 22nd is my clean date.
Alright, Alicia, that's what's up. Hell yeah. We're so glad you're here. Please keep coming and stay. Alright. I don't see any more hands. I did forget a couple in the chat, actually. We got Willow with 47 days. That's incredible, Willow. Keep it going. We have Sarah with 141 days. That's awesome, Sarah. So glad you're here. Yay. Alright. With that, the next key tag is blue. This is 6 to 9 months. It's the color of the basic text. Hopefully you read it by now because it will change your life. Jen.
Hey, I'm Jen. I'm an addict, and today we have 225 days.
Woo, that you do. That's awesome. Hell yeah, Jen. So glad you're here. It's always good to see you. I do not see any more hands. I do see Kat in the chat with 8 months and 15 days. That's incredible. 259 days. Alright. Yeah, so the next one is the yellow key tag. Because you're in the banana bunch. 9 months to 1 year. If anybody wants to get... Oh, Rob.
Yeah, hi family. I say Rob, addict, and I am 10 months and 5 days.
Woo! Say that then. Love how you have the key tag. That's amazing. It's always good to have items like that to hold on to. Really helps you hold on to your clean time. Alright, I don't see any more hands. With that, the next one is 1 year to 18 months. This key tag glows in the dark so that your sponsor can find you, which hopefully he doesn't have to do by now. Jennifer, I'm gonna ask you to unmute.
Hi family, I'm Jennifer. I'm a recovering addict. Today I put together 502 days in a row.
Woo! Yes, that's awesome. Pass that 500. Amber.
Hey family, Amber addict. Today we have 17 months and 30 days.
Yes, that's amazing. Oh yeah. So glad you're here, Amber. It's always good to see you. The next key tag is Dolphin Gray because you found your porpoise. It is 18 months to 2 years. If you would like to raise your hand for that one, please do. It's typically a pretty lonely key tag. All right, keep coming back. The next one is multiple years. This is black and gold because you did what you were told. Gold and black because you did, or you kept coming back. And you have enough money to not pick up a sack but pay your mama back. Nikki, I'm going to ask you to unmute.
Hey family, I'm Nikki. I've got 2 years and 5 days.
Woo! That's amazing. So glad you're here. Oh yeah. Tara.
Terror addict. We have 3 years, 2 months, and 7 days.
That's what's up. I'm so glad. Yay. All right. I don't see any more hands. So with that, oh Jason, I can't ignore Jason.
Jason Haddock, 4 years, 11 months and change. And Tara, thank you for hosting. Sorry I'm late.
Woo! Thank you for being here and for sharing that with us. I appreciate you. Brian, I'm going to ask you to unmute.
I'm Brian. I'm an addict. I got 20 years to say.
Yes. Oh yeah, Brian. I'm so glad you're here, dude. It's always good seeing you. I do see Joe in the chat with 1,779 days. That's incredible, Joe. Wow. All right. And with that, we're going to bring it back to the 0 to 29 day key tag. If you were too high or too shy to share your clean time with this guy, please get your hand raised. If not, it's cool. All right. I don't see any more hands. If you have a year or more in the program... Oh, David. I'm going to ask you to unmute.
We have to sing for Brian.
Oh, hell yeah, we do. You know it. Brian, we got to sing for you. It might not sound so good either, but all right. Oh, wait, can people unmute? Okay. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Joe. Happy birthday to you.
Keep coming back.
Man.
Don't
Yes.
smoke crack.
True that. That's probably a good idea. All right. That was amazing, and I'm so sorry I missed it. Thanks for calling me out, David. All right. I think, with that, that's it. If you have a year or more and a sponsor and would like to raise your hand, please do. Yes. All right. So with that, it's an open topic here at Crazy NA. If there are any topics you would like to hear about, feel free to post them in the chat. With that, the meeting is yours. David, was your hand raised to share? Okay, I'll put that down. Amber, was your hand raised to share? Okay, sounds peachy. Tabitha, I'm going to ask you to unmute.
Hey, I'm Tabitha. I'm an addict. I see girls. And yeah. I thank everybody for being of service. Happy birthday to someone that's not a baby in recovery anymore. That's pretty cool. For me to right along with my 1 year clean time, I got the gift of Omicron. So that's a thing. But like, it's not. It's gonna be all right. I don't know. I just didn't expect to get that again. Well, another variant. This is like the second time I've gotten COVID. My kids have got it a couple times too. So, yeah, no fun. But I'll be in my meetings and just listening and participating when I can and sleeping. I've taken 2 naps today already. Hold on, you hear me talking? I don't know. It's not doing anything to my recovery. I'm just gonna keep keep on keeping on. No desire to use over here. Just desire to keep that headache at bay by taking the recommended dosage of Tylenol as I need to. Thanks for letting me share. Tabitha, I'm an addict.
Thank you for... Oh, I wasn't unmuted. Thank you for being here and sharing, Tabitha. I appreciate you, and I hope you get better soon. That's no joke. Cruz, I'm going to ask you to unmute.
What's up, family? Happy to see everybody here. My name's Cruz. I'm an addict. I'm about to eat dinner, but I just really want to jump on and share. Today was probably my roughest day at the beginning of the day. My mind kind of was racing. Certain things I couldn't control, some drama with my neighbors, and then kind of future tripping a little bit about financial obligations and getting back to work with my outpatient program. And then, of course, I just decided like I need to say some kind of prayer. I found God when I was in rehab, for those of you that haven't heard me share before. And I was lucky enough and blessed enough that it didn't take as long as I thought it was going to. After resenting him and not having a relationship with him over the last 15 years, as soon as I started praying, I literally felt that physical weight kind of come off my chest and shoulders. And went back to that feeling this morning when I was feeling stressed and anxious and, uncontrollable, or not in control of certain things. I remind myself that feeling. So I went inside away from the drama and just said the simple serenity prayer. And I just made sure to repeat that first sentence, accept the things we cannot change. And right away, I luckily was blessed enough to feel a little bit of relief. And then also coming over to my parents' place for the first time since I've been out of rehab to talk to my dad. And my mind was definitely racing there because he had to share some things with me, and he did it really well. He's, to be honest, not always the greatest communicator, but he tailored his kind of look on things to see both sides of the spectrum. And when I got here, my anxiety level was pretty high, wondering what that conversation was going to look like. But again, he has found God and kind of been asking God to come into his life more. And when I was expecting judgment and resentment, he shared love and passion with me that I really needed, especially having the rough morning that I had. So, and again, seeing you guys all here is obviously a huge part of my everyday recovery. So I just want to hop on and share that for the newcomers, including myself, I'm only 29 days clean today. So still very new myself, but for the people first time in this meeting, I can't stress enough and that how amazing these people are in my everyday recovery. They're, give me all the love I need, and when I can't love myself, their shares give me motivation and hope, which is something I haven't been able to feel over the last 10 years. So yeah, just keep coming back if you're new. Reach out to the OGs in here, and they're gonna give you numbers if you need them. I've found a new family and fellowship of friends that I never thought I'd be able to find in here. So with that, I'll share the time. You guys, love you all, and thanks for letting me share.
Love you too, Cruz. I always love your shares. That was wonderful. It's just good. It's good to hear. It reminds me of when I was in treatment. John, I'm gonna ask you to unmute.
Hi, I'm John. I'm an addict. So, I'm in quarantine right now because I got COVID for the second time in like 6 months. And like for me personally, like I don't like being cooped up in the house for too long. And I can't stand like staying stuck in the house, and like not being able to go to meetings, not being able to go out and like be social and like go to work. Like it was starting to mess with me a little bit. But I dug into the literature a little bit, read the Just for Today, started reading a little bit of the Living Clean book, and I prayed, and a couple years ago, like I didn't have that option because I was still very much stuck in my active addiction. And in addiction, my addiction wants me like isolated and lonely and hurt and afraid and like desperate. It wants me very sick, and I think the goal of my addiction is to kill me, you know? And like, one thing that I've learned in this journey of recovery is like, you know, when I'm isolated and alone, I am weak, but like together we do recover, you know? And like, even if I just like reach out to a friend like on the phone and just have like a phone conversation, it still does so much for my well-being, my spirituality. Like, so like, if you are in a position where you can't, you know, get out to a meeting or whatever, like, you know, reach out to a friend in recovery, reach out, you know, like, you don't have to suffer alone, like, seriously. And I've been in and out of the rooms for the better part of 20 years, and one thing that I realized is that, like, you know, like, alone I am weak, and together we do recover. So like, if you reach out, it's so much easier, you know? Like, I wasted so much time in my life trying to, like, you know, like, I would listen to people share, and I'd be like, oh well, I'll do that, but I won't do this, and I'll do this, but I won't do that. And I tried to like tailor everything to fit into what I thought my recovery should be, but honestly, like, I was just in my own way. So if you're new, just please, like, take suggestions and keep coming back. You know, the best thing you could do is just keep coming back. And if you fall, just get back up. And that's all I got for now. Thanks.
Thank you. I appreciate your wisdom. It's good to see you here, John. Vicky Joe, I'm going to ask you to unmute.
www.com. Hurry.
Sorry about that. I wasn't sure if you were getting it. All right.
Right. Worries.
I get you guys.
So,
Oh, sorry.
hi everybody. My name is Vicky Joe. I'm an addict. So, man, today was a rough day. I had like a pink cloud for all of like 2 seconds, and it diminished when I woke up to this morning at 6 a.m. to go to work. I was so excited yesterday because I came on and I was telling everybody how I worked step one. I stayed up till like the wee hours of the morning, really working hard on step one the other day, and I was just so excited about it, and I couldn't wait to process it and everything. And then I woke up this morning and I had to go back to work, man. I had to go back to work, and I had to deal with life again, and life on life's terms, and deal with my boss, and deal with life again. And I just I really just need some downtime to work on me, and unfortunately I can't go to rehab and just focus on me. I have to get back to work, and I have to pay bills, and I have to, and I'm still trying to recover. It's really hard, and I'm still going through cravings, and I'm still that mindset of trying to recover is really hard. It's a really hard thing, because all I want to do is give up.
For real.
But I can't. All I just want to do is lay down and give up. And I just can't. I can't do that. I have to keep going. I just really want to quit my job. I feel overwhelmed. And but the reality is I can't, because who's going to pay my bills? I called a rehab, or not rehab, but an outpatient clinic today, and they're going to see me on the 19th, but I have to somehow find a way to take some time off to be able to get in there and do the appointment. And I put in for the time off today, but my job may not give me the time off. So I may have to call in sick and get written up again. I've already gotten written up like so many times already. And I'm facing another write-up again. I had a stack of write-ups when I came into work today, and I just want to say, fuck it. I had the fuck it's today, and I just wanted to say fuck it and just say, you know what, I quit. But the reality is, I can't quit, and I had such a poor disposition about work today, and that's not me, because my personality is I just want to help people, and everything, and I really want to focus on trying to help people and trying to be there for myself, but I don't know what to do at this point. But I'm gonna go to that. I'm gonna call in sick if I have to call in sick to go to that outpatient. You know, they know I'm gonna take the day off, regardless if they give it to me. I'm gonna call in if I have to call in and take the write up. So it is what it is, because my recovery has to come first. And it is what it is. But today my dope dealer called me right after I got off work and said, I have some good stuff for you. Na 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 na. And all I could get out of my mouth was, hey, dude, don't call me again. You know, I'm in recovery. I'm not doing that shit no more. So don't call me. And he's all right, you know, and he hung up. And you know, I'm sure that's the last thing that anybody wants to hear. But I was just feeling so poorly, man. I was just like, I just don't want to hear it, because I just came out. I'm coming out of it, and I'm tired and I'm whooped. I'm just so whooped. And that's the last thing I want to do is go back into that insanity. And I'm like, I can't even trust myself to go to the store, because I don't want to make that drive over to his house and stuff. And I don't want to get into debt with him or anything like that. So I just don't go anywhere. I'm just gonna sit home and be still. I've got a week left here, and then I'm out of this town, and I'm going home to my new home, and I'll never see this place again. And I don't know, maybe I'm rambling, but I'm fighting for my life. And I just need a fresh start. I need a fresh start. So I'm praying, guys. Thank you for letting me share. I'm almost out of here. I got this. I got this with you guys behind me. I got this. Thank you, guys.
Hey, thank you, and you're an inspiration to a lot of us, and I really hope you know that. Yeah, just hang in there and know that everything's gonna be okay. If people could continue to please reach out to Vicky Joe, you know, that's hard. But all right, Derek, I'm gonna ask you to unmute.
Sorry guys. Hi, I'm Derek. I'm a grateful recovering addict. I'm grateful to be in a meeting in Narcotics Anonymous today, and thank you for the person who was just sharing last. You know, I felt the same exact way in the first few days. I had to let go. I came to a few hard decisions as well. You know, having to let go of a career and a home, and I had left the place that I lived my whole life to end up over here, 100 exits away. And honestly, it was the best decision I ever made for myself. And I'm grateful I landed where I did. But I just want to touch on that just for today. I believe that was a great reading today, because that's something I definitely felt like I came into recovery not even believing that I was gonna be like, I couldn't see past the detox part, right? I just wanted to stop being sick because I was at my bitter ends. I just didn't want to do this shit no more. So I ended up into a treatment center and blah blah blah. I ended up at an Oxford house, and things just kind of fell into place, and I started really enjoying the NA meetings around the area, and then I fell into a really good sponsorship family tree, who could recite the literature off the top of his head, you know, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna follow that guy. He knows what the fuck he's talking about. But my ego and my disease in my mind still didn't want to listen, right? And I was like, I already know that I needed to stop doing drugs. I gotta be better, a better father. I gotta be a better son, blah, blah, all this stuff. And I grew up in Alateen because my grandpa who raised me on the reservation that I'm from, he's been in the AA program for all of my life. So he would always bring me to Alateen. So I kind of came into the program thinking I already knew the 12 steps. And then I started working the NA step working guide and realized that there's 69 questions in the first step, and I didn't know shit, you know. And then I soon to come to find out that there's so many things to learn in just that first step. Then you get on to the second step, and it says that no amount of self can deliver themselves from themselves, right? So I can't think my way into a problem and think my way out of it. So I have to learn to give that up to a power that's greater than myself. I was like, wow, that's a pretty simple concept, but I would have never been able to think of that by myself. So that pretty much told me I don't know shit about shit, and I'm not as special as I once thought I was. And thank God, you know, because in my addiction, when I was out running in the streets, I didn't think I was, you know, some big badass drug dealer, but everybody has inflated ego out there, and I definitely wasn't one of the ones that didn't. But I also isolated a lot, and the fact that we have the Zoom platform is beautiful to me, because I feel like I have not accomplished very much today besides the 3 Zoom meetings I hit, you know, and I just love the fact that I could hop on and talk with you guys and hear your guys' experience, strength, and hope, because this is what keeps me clean, you know, and doing the step work. Because like the way I was told was, yeah, great, everybody, yippee, everybody shows up to meetings, but the real freedom is in the step working guy, right? And honestly, so the only way to do it wrong is alone. So to find somebody that you honestly trust and has something that you want, you go ask them to show you how they got it, because nobody shows up to NA on their best foot, so they had to put the work and the time in, right? So I'm just starting on my 4th step now, and it's a little bit it's a little more challenging than I thought it was going to be, honestly, you know, because I was the first 3 is pretty easy if you are open-minded and honest, and you could say that there is a power greater than myself, right? So I can pray today, and I do honestly believe that there's a God out there that put me in this position that I'm at and gave me the relationship back with my kids that I really never had before. But now working on my 4th step, like I still find myself trying not to go into too much detail about things, when I was told the way I'm supposed to do it is to write every resentment that I've ever had against somebody since as far back as I can remember. It's like I can't even fathom how much knowledge or memory that's going to take, you know. So I'm about 5 pages in and a few days at it and chipping away, and it's not fun, but there is hope in the amount of courage that you have to pray for. If you use or do a thorough 1, 2, and 3, then you shouldn't procrastinate on your 4th. That's the way it was taught to me. So I'm trying to just, you know, keep pushing through it and prove to myself that I'm not praying to nothing, that I really do believe God's got my back and put me in this situation. And there's people that I truly love and care for that show me the way now in this program, that have gone through the 4th step and say it's the best thing that they've ever done for themselves, you know. So I'm rambling now. I will share the time. Thank you guys for letting me share.
Hey, thank you for sharing, Derek. And honestly, I really needed that, and I'm sure a lot of people here did too. So, thank you. Jennifer, I'm gonna ask you to unmute.
Hi, family. I'm Jennifer. I'm a recovering addict. Today I'm doing a little self-care, so camera's off and the blinds are closed. And it's because I get overwhelmed, you know, because I want things to happen now. I don't want to wait. I never have. And one thing that NA has taught me in coming to these rooms is that, you know, life will come, and whether I future trip or think about, you know, everything all at once, it's not going to happen all at once. You know, there is a natural progression of wellness that happens, and it doesn't happen all at once, you know. And the only thing you don't have to do is, or the only thing you have to do is not use. That's it. And if you do that, then you've had a successful day. And, you know, you made it to these rooms, you saved your life. You know, the steps were created, you know, in my opinion, I'm doing the work now. You know, it took me a year to get to this point. You know, I kept thinking I had it. I was white knuckling it. You know, I was trying to get my life, you know, on track. And sure, you know, the only thing I was doing is not using, and that was it. And it wasn't until I really started working this step on step one, and I'm still in the halfway through it, that, you know, I started to really recognize that that's the small steps in between that I get overwhelmed. You know, life can speed by, but it'll come around when it's supposed to. And you know, so if you made it to these rooms, keep coming back. The program works, but you have to work it. But I can't tell you that. You work your own program. You know, there are multiple pathways of recovery, and, you know, my way is not the only way. You know, but I'll take another 24, because I know that I can at least think that far ahead, and I at least, you know, me and my higher power have that covered. That's all I got. I love you guys.
Hey, thank you so much for being here and sharing, Jennifer. David, you are not there, so, well, I don't know, the camera's moving a little. David! Alright, we're gonna move on to Ryan, and David will be back, I'm sure. Oh no! David, what's up?
Thank you, Grant, for your service. Dave, and I'm an addict, and thank you for everybody to share for. And yeah, I'm just truly grateful to, you know, have a meeting that I could do at home at my disposal anytime, because, you know, right now what's going on in my life has been, you know, tough for the past couple weeks with my wife's mother, what she's going through. You know, she has stage 4 bile duct cancer, and it's like similar to what, you know, my mother went through when I was a young kid, and I still haven't dealt with those past emotions from that going on. And that's was part of my 4th step too. Like, you know, that when I got done with it, like I used to cry when I would do the 4th step. Like, I would write a couple sentences, stop, come back to it the next day and do it again, and keep doing it until I finally got through it. And it felt like a weight was lifted off my shoulders, but it's still like, still to this day, like now with what's going on now, it's like I haven't got over what happened to me in the past. And that's one of the biggest things my character defect is, that I never let go of the past. It always brings it up. I always, like, somehow my past comes to me every single day, no matter what it is. And, you know, the years I spent in prison, what I did to people, you know, people that I lost in my life. And, you know, one of the biggest things that everybody's told me is, you know, you got to forgive yourself, you know, and that's the hardest thing. I can forgive everybody else, I just can't forgive myself. And it's very hard for me to do that, you know. And then, you know, I was reading the Just for Today when you guys, well, I touched base on it a little this morning when I read it, because I always get morning texts about it, but it's like, what are the 2 favorite words of most addicts that I know? And that is, and You know, when I first came in these rooms a long time ago, I didn't know shit. Like I didn't know. I don't have answers for nothing. All the answers I had was how to get high again. That's the only fucking answer I knew. Was where to get more shit, get high again, and that's about it. And that's how I live my life a lot of, most of my time, either that or in prison. And it's a different way of life. Like now that I have recovery in me, and tools at my disposal that I can use every day. Without this program, I wouldn't have shit. My wife wouldn't have nothing. My kids wouldn't. I wouldn't even be here. Probably 100%. I'll probably go back into prison. That's one of the biggest things. And it's like not why I don't get high anymore. The question is how to stay clean every day. And how I stay clean every day is, I work a program. I talk to people in my recovery circle. I do meetings, do service, do steps, and I do other I'm very open-minded, so I do other self-help books too, and that's one of the biggest things. And one of my biggest thing is journaling, which, to be completely honest, I fell off for the past week. I haven't journaled, and I've been really feeling it. I've been more aggravated lately. I want to walk outside and smash him in his fucking head, and I haven't felt like that in a long time. And I know when I start feeling like that, that's when I need to kick up my recovery more, and if it wasn't for one of my good friends through this whole holiday, got invited to my first NA convention, and it was fucking amazing. It was completely amazing, and I'm truly grateful to have that person in my life that invited me to there. And it was cool seeing so many acts in one place at one time, like celebrating, and just like the whole atmosphere of it was truly amazing. And without that, I probably would have struggled a lot more than what I have. And yeah, that's about it. Thanks for letting me share.
Dude, I'm so glad you got to experience that. That's amazing. Conventions are incredible. Up next, we've got Ryan.
Hey, I'm Ryan. I'm an addict. I'm a recovering addict, actually. How you guys doing? Thanks for having the virtual doors open. I just wanted to say hey, because I'm here, and that's what you're supposed to do, I guess. I don't know. I kind of lost count. 37, 38, 39, somewhere in there. I would have 90 something, but I gave that away. No worries. Just keep it moving. On the just for today, you know what I do know? You know what I really do know? That I did not want to do a meeting today. And I did not, had not made a meeting in a couple of days. I went on my little, I'm an addict in all my affairs, whether it's making meetings, not making meetings, stationary, it doesn't matter. I want more. I want more. And I do know that when I don't want to make a meeting, I need to make a meeting. So, yeah, I'm here, and I'm so glad to have found this cute little group of happy people. I don't know. I was having a hard day, and I just kept saying happiness is a choice, and I choose to be happy, and I try to reset over and over and over. And if I have to reset every other minute, every half a minute, sometimes, because I don't know. I'm still angry. I'm still angry, and I too have been in and out of recovery for a long time. I don't know, 15, 16, 17 years, and I'm an adult child of an alcoholic, and I grew up in AA. And it as far as occasionally people will suggest, oh well, why don't you try the other rooms or something. But I don't drink, first of all, and I am mad at them. I'm mad at them. I don't know why. I'll get there on this round of step work. But I'm stoked. The nicest people sent me a brand new basic text in the mail, and I was having another bad day, and that made my day. And I really, I appreciate NA, and I appreciate the literature. And I lost all of mine to a fire that I kind of, I accidentally caused. It was not directly because of my using, but all things, anything that happens while you're using is definitely an indirect or directly something. It's related, and if you ain't there, you might get there someday, whatever. But I don't know. I'm definitely grateful for my predecessors, and I can't wait to be a predecessor. And you don't lose your knowledge necessarily when you lose your clean time, but you clearly missed something. So I definitely don't know at all, because if I did, I wouldn't have been, crying on the bathroom floor, or any floor or the ground, or wherever I found myself crying. And I did cry on all over the place, and I had an empty, devoid soul, spiritually bankrupt. So I don't know. That's all. Thanks for letting me share, and thanks for having a meeting.
Thank you, Rayon. That was a great share, and I'm glad you're here. Please keep coming back. We need
Thank
that
you.
here. Yep, no problem. Rob, I'm going to ask you to unmute.
Yeah, hi, beautiful people. Thank you so much. I've really enjoyed this meeting today, and yeah, I can relate to so many points, good and bad. But that's the thing. That's why I'm here. So for me, I'm going to kind of dance around, I think, today's JFT, because I think it answers a lot for me and the way that I perceive all of this. Before coming in, I was always trying to feel that self-loathing that I think was underlying me with hey, I can show the world I'm a success, and at the same time drinking and drugging, and keeping myself feeling from collapsing. And I say, it worked for 2.5 decades. That the first half decade was also just partying and enjoying it. But after 3-4 decades, the wheels came off, and I say, I was left an empty shell. And in fact, as the last person said about sort of being spiritually bankrupt, I wasn't spiritually bankrupt because I never ever had any spirituality. So I was empty. And I thought that basically you fill yourself with the world, and I actually came to when I basically didn't have a job, and suddenly the drugs weren't working anymore, and I'd moved to a new place where I knew no one, and it was just me sitting with me. All of those insecurities of being a child and having a hellish time that I think most of us, in one way or another, have an unpleasant childhood to some degree. Whatever the trauma is, each of us has our own. For me, it was school, and it was a place that I didn't get on with, and it all came to the front that basically I wasn't good enough. I still believed that I wasn't good enough, and no matter what success I got in my life, I still weren't good enough. And the collapse of me just proved that I wasn't good enough. And genuinely, when I walked through the doors, I realized a few things. One, that basically I was, no longer loving myself, and people started to, love me back to life when I couldn't love myself. And that to me was absolutely special. And as I say, with today's talk, where it says, unfortunately, many of us arrive in NA thinking we have all the answers. Well, hell, I knew that I didn't have the answers because I'd looked everywhere, and it weren't where I'd been looking. So as I say, suddenly, when I actually got into the step work and everything else, it revealed to me that I actually had to destroy everything that I thought I knew. And I tell you what, letting go of what we think we know, that's hard, and then that's soul destroying. And I think that's why people in the early days, really struggle. And then I struggle because suddenly you're stripping all those things away that and it hurts, and you're insecure, and now you're terrified that damn, the only things that you've ever relied on, you're pulling them down, you're taking them away, you're pulling out the weeds, and that for me meant, well, what's left of me now? But slowly, as I'm working with my sponsor, and sort of coming to the meetings where again it says, I don't have all the answers, but I know where to find the ones that matter. Today I'll ask another addict, how does it work? Well, I guess that's what meetings were for me, because maybe I could sort of change that and say, when I turn up at a meeting, I suppose maybe the question in my head is, how does this work? And as everyone says, works if you work it. And well, what does that mean? Okay, well, basically do what they're advising. What are they advising? They're telling you to get to meetings. They're telling you to share. They're telling you to get honest. They're showing you to be willing, to be open-minded. Damn, these are a lot of things that to get spiritual. I've never been spiritual. And I say sort of, I think that again, using that analogy of going down, it'd be a bit like on the Titanic when you're running around like you're panic stricken. You're going to go down here, but yet if you actually just hand it over, suddenly you don't have the problem anymore. Maybe you'll live, maybe you'll die, whatever. It's not my decision. But if I basically then turn to drugs or alcohol again, then who's turning their back? God or me? And it would be me. So I knew I just had to keep walking in one direction, get my ass spiritual. And, as I actually, my first sponsor who loved me back to life, she basically got really, really busy in life, and I had to accept that, and that was fine. And I found another sponsor, and he is, he's really got, again, a massively spiritual principle. And, we get tingles, as I sort of through, kind of recovery. And it's worked. Everything that the program's there, but again, it doesn't appear by magic. It appears because we do what we're told to do. Because, well, again, I'm talking about myself because I was shit at it before. So so I will keep asking the question every time I come to these meetings. How does it work? And you guys are beautiful, and the text is beautiful, and you answer me. So. Yeah, for today, I'm really thankful. I'm going to say to any of you, I personally think that you're all worth it. Even if you ever doubt it yourselves, you're worth it. You're awesome, and thank you for being here because you help me every day. So cheers.
Oh yeah, thank you, Rob, and cheers. Alyssa, I did see your hand was up, and you probably got disconnected. Would you like to share?
Sure, I'll share really fast. Yeah, I've been I somehow accidentally disconnected myself when I was trying to disconnect my headphones, and then I jumped onto my computer, so sorry for all the confusion. My name's Alyssa, I'm an addict. There's been some great shit shared tonight in this meeting. I want to start off by saying that I heard basically what I've heard so far in a lot of people's shares, and what I got from this just for today, right, is the spiritual principle of open-mindedness, right? And that's so important for us in our recovery. In order for us to even be willing to work the steps, we at first have to be open-minded. And when I heard the just for today, I was at the gym, when it said how it works, the first thing that went through my head is, well, the fucking steps. You know what I mean? That's how it fucking works. And I am a huge promoter. I don't know how else to describe it, of the steps, because shit, man, I just celebrated 21 months yesterday. And a post came up on my Facebook of where I was a year ago, right? When I was 9 months clean. And I was, so much, even though I had 9 months clean, I had only had a sponsor for a month, maybe 2. Hadn't started the fucking steps. And you could see it with the chaos in my life. I couldn't work. I couldn't go to school. I couldn't even fucking sleep in my fucking bed, because the amount of trauma that I had buried through my using had came out, and it was so uncontrollable, right? So finally, my first sponsor didn't work out with me. I found a sponsor that I really liked, and I buckled down and I worked the fucking steps, right? And then and as I started actually being open-minded to taking my sponsor's suggestions and other people's suggestions, even though they came sponsors, and willing to work the steps, right? Like, everything else started falling into place for me, right? And that's the how. Like, honesty. I was honest about how I had a problem with using drugs, but I wasn't open-minded or willing. So nothing was changing in my fucking life. And I remember, like, when I got my sponsor, I told her, I was like, yeah, you know, like, I've been working on the steps. I'm on like step 2 now. And she was like, whoa, what? And like, then she pointed me to the first page in the step working guide. And it said, there's only one wrong way to do the steps, and it's by yourself, right? Because she was like, you were stabbing yourself. You know what I mean? Like, you were stabbing yourself. You wanted to die. Like, what makes you think that you that you know the answers to get this way out of it? You know what I mean? Like, if you knew the answers, like, you wouldn't be here right now. And I was like, ah, shit. So, you know, I redid my step 1 because that's what she told me to do. And I was the type of addict when I first came into these rooms that even though I was open-minded enough to work the steps, like, that was it. I was still stuck with taking suggestions. So my sponsor told me, like, you're going to do the first part of step 1, and then you're going to call me after, and then we're going to go through it, and then we'll move on to the second part. Like, I had to fucking be ordered with what to do, and that's okay, you know? I needed structure, and she gave me structure. But yeah, man, like, everything in my life, I guess, that I have gotten today has been a gift because of recovery. And in our basic text, it literally says that they have never seen an addict who lives the program who has failed and has relapsed and died because of their addiction, you know? So to me, that means that as long as I keep being willing to work the steps, even though I've already been through it, you know, working them again and attend meetings and not isolate, you know, I talk to at least 2 addicts a day, then things will keep, you know, working out for me. Yeah, man, I don't know. A lot of great fucking shares tonight. Really, really good shares. And to that guy who's on their 4th step, man, the most loving thing I could have done for myself was do step 4. And it literally says it and how it works. And at first I was like, what the fuck? And then I did it, and I was like, okay, yeah, I get it now, you know? Because everybody talks about step 4 as such a scary fucking thing. I thought it was great for me. Shit, and it's the top of the hour. I did not mean to go on that long, so I'm gonna shut up now. Thank you all.
Thank you for sharing and for being here. With that, we have reached the end of the meeting. If you would like to share, please stay until after the meeting. Sorry, one sec. Okay. If you need meeting verification, or, oh yeah, does anybody have a burning desire? A burning desire is a desire to use to harm yourself or to hurt someone else. Okay, I don't see any hands. I'm going to put the ones that are up down. With that, we will now share some announcements. My bad. Just need to copy and paste this. Alright. Crazy NA is now sending out key tags. Please fill out this form to request a key tag. Key tags are sent out on availability. And there's a link for that. We are now taking suggestions for our monthly speakers meetings. Please fill out this 3-question survey to make a suggestion. Crazy NA dates to remember. Crazy NA Speakers Jam, January 8th from 1 p.m. Pacific to 11 p.m. Pacific. Crazy NA Events Committee, January 6th, 3:30 p.m. Pacific. Crazy NA Events Committee, January 16th, 3:30 p.m. Pacific. Crazy NA Verifier Training, ad hoc, January 15th at 4 p.m. Monthly business meeting, Sunday, February 6th at 7:30 Pacific Standard Time. In Narcotics Anonymous, we suggest that you have a home group as well as a sponsor you can work the steps with. If you don't have a home group, please consider joining ours. You remember when you say you are. Anonymity is the spiritual foundation of all our traditions, so we ask that what you see here, what you hear here, please let it stay here. Crazy NA does meet twice a day, 5:45 p.m. and 9:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. The room number and the password is on there for you guys if you ever need that to come back. But with that, I'm going to ask somebody to close. Oh, and if you need verification, meeting verification, please reach out to me. Let's see. Hey, Jason, would you like to close this out?
Sure. After a moment of silence for the sick and suffering addicts inside and outside of these rooms, let's close with the third step prayer. Let's hold that for an extra moment for all the people who are going to pick up tonight for the first time. Many of us have said,
take our will in our lives, guide us in our recovery, and show us how to live clean.
Keep coming back.
Works if you work it. We're all worth it.
Worth it.
Work it in. Sucks if you don't.
Thank you, everyone.
Really fucking sucks. Now, Jason, share, please. Thank you.
Don't smoke crack.
All right, since I had my hand up. I'm Jason, I'm an addict.
Hey, Jason.
Hey, Jason.
Hi, Jason.
So, you know, I have this, I send out blast messages to sponsees, and then I also send it out to friends, people who've asked to see them. And, you know, it's, the one today was essentially about the JFT on why, right? And, you know, our readings start with who, what, and why. And in all of our, and you guys who know me know I love to go through our readings and count the number of times that should appears twice in the traditions, 1 and 8. And the word why only appears once in the title. Why are we here? Right? And so I only need to ask why once.
Goodness.
Right? We suffer from a disease from which there's no known cure. It can, however, be arrested at some point, and recovery is then possible. My two favorite lines in that reading. Alas,